Hi guys, it's Liz here. I'm just going to jump into the subject that we're talking about at the moment in church around love. I'm going to focus on what Jesus said was the second most important commandment, which is loving others as you love yourself. And I really want to focus on that bit about loving yourself. In our culture, we tend to be quite self-deprecating. There's a bit of false modesty maybe going on there. We're not sure if we're allowed to love ourselves. You know, doesn't pride come before a fall? And it's a subject that we're just not very comfortable to talk about. So I want to put 4 or 5 points across to help us to explore what it means to love ourselves and think about the way that we can do that in a practical sense. So just to carry on from Tim a couple of weeks ago, really, know that you are loved by the King of Kings. That if you were the only person here, he would still have come for you. This is point number 1. Know that you are loved. You are so loved, fully and completely loved. Knowing we're loved by someone else can just help us to start maybe being able to love ourselves a bit more than we would otherwise. Point number 2, know your value, know your absolute lovability. And it can feel a bit wishy-washy, perhaps, even though it's stronger than death, this love that he has for us, to just think, well, God loves me, so, I must love myself. If you want to find something that you can really hang your hat on and say, this is it, then look for those things about you that are absolutely lovable. And if you struggle to do that, for various reasons, if that's hard for you to find things about you that are valuable and lovable, then look to the people around you that you love, that you respect. What are those things in them that you find really worthy and valuable? And I'm betting it's not going to be they have a big house and they drive a nice car and they've got a great job. All those things are brilliant for them. Woohoo! But it's probably more things like they're kind and they're trustworthy and they are genuine. And then look at your own life. Just over the last couple of weeks, can you see any of those factors working out in your own life? Have you been kind? Have you been trustworthy? Have you been caring towards another human being in any way, shape or form? Just have a think about that and start to recognise that these things that you value in other people exist in you as well. Point number 3, be compassionate to yourself. Jesus saw the crowds were harassed and helpless, and he was compassionate towards them. When you're harassed and when you're feeling helpless, you're not always going to be the best version of you that you can be, but you are an entirely acceptable version of you. It's really important to draw a line between the things that you do and the thing that you are. And you are loved, but sometimes our behaviour is not always lovable. I think I've reached a point in my life now where I can accept that I am always worthy of being loved, but my behaviour is not always lovable or likeable. And that leads me on to point number 4. Be kind, but not blind. We are embracing a society at the moment. There's this theme in our culture of, well, I can do what I want and I can be who I want and stuff you if you don't like it. And I understand that's a backlash to a long history of conforming and criticism. But actually, it's okay for us to set boundaries, even with ourselves, of saying, yeah, that wasn't okay that I did that. Or this part of my behaviour right now is not great. And maybe I need to do something about that. And looking to Jesus as our example of who we can be is the best way to do that. I am fully loved, but is my behaviour matching up with who I could be? So accept yourself for always being loved. Always. You will always be lovable. But it's okay for us to notice the things that maybe we need to work on a wee bit. And once we can do those things, know that we're loved by a king. Know our own value. Be compassionate to ourselves and be kind without being blind. Then we're in a position to love our neighbours really well. We can move on to that next week. I'm so tempted to go for it now, but I won't. Bye-bye.